Good morning, everybody. Today, we're going to further our discussion on subtraction. Specifically, we're going to work on subtraction with regrouping anywhere within the numbers. So we're going to be going from 6 digits up to millions, subtracting while having to borrow or regroup. First, before we work through a few problems together, I want two things. I want you to either get a piece of paper and a pencil so you can write and work along with me, or, I don't know, screen record so that you have this. I want you to work along with me. So please get a piece of paper and a pencil and just follow along. Before I start, I'm going to just go through a couple of strategies, a couple of the familiar strategies. Now, subtracting with regrouping is something that we've all learned from the first days we were able to subtract, right? Because we've learned to do 55. Oops, I was going to do a multiplication there. We've all learned to do 55 minus 7 as we've gone through the grades, right? We can't do, when you have a bigger number on top, you need to stop. Or a smaller number on top. Smaller number on top, you need to stop. Because you cannot take away a bigger number from a smaller. You're starting on the bottom. You cannot take 7 from 5. So you have to go and you have to regroup. That becomes a 4. This becomes 15 minus 7 is 8. And it's 48. That's pretty basic subtraction. We can all probably, I'm sure most of us, if not all, can do 55 minus 7 in our heads. Or we're getting close to that point. What I want to do, though, is I want to stop and I want to talk about the different methods that I've seen used, 2 different methods specifically, to do subtraction, especially regrouping with these bigger numbers. So I'm going to start off with a number in the 10,000 spot. I'm going to say 64,321. And I'm going to subtract, I don't know, let's say 818. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch to a different color pen here so I can show you the first strategy. My first strategy is the way I was taught. A lot of your parents were taught. And, you'll hear a lot of the older generation, people even older than me probably like, oh, back in my day, subtraction was easy. We just did this way. And I'm just going to show you that way. It's one tool in your mathematical toolbox to use, to help. Okay? So if you do it another way, that's fine. If it works. But this is just something to see if it'll help you. And the next method I'm going to go over, it might be the way you are accustomed to, the way you use it. So, starting right here. Remember, this is the way I had learned it, 30 years ago. I look at the first number. I'm working right to left, but I am just doing one number, starting right here, 8. 1 minus 8. Well, you can't do that. If I have 1, I can't take 8 away, so I have to go borrow from the 2. That 2 becomes a 1. I put the 1 next to the number I'm trying to make bigger, and it becomes 11. It's just adding 10 to that number. So that becomes 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, next number here, 3 minus 8. Once again, I can't do that. I cannot take 8 from 3. If I have 8 people and 3 candy bars, not everybody's going to get one. So you can't do that subtraction. Unless you want to get into some fractions and decimals, which that'll be later in the year. We'll worry about that later. So I'm going to have to come over to this next spot in the thousands. That cross it out, 4 becomes 3. That becomes 13. 13 minus 8 is 5, comma. I can't do 3 minus 7, same thing. It means 7 is too big. When that number is too big, you gotta go next door and borrow 10. 6 becomes 5. That 3, the 4 turned into a 3, that 3 becomes 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. 46,503. Right? Now, like I said, that's the way I was taught. But there is also this way, which I've seen. I'm gonna use a red pen to mark this way, guys. A strategy I've seen a lot of students use successfully, and it's the same exact thing. And I even touched on it in a previous lesson of our math module, our math curriculum, and it's simply you going through and making sure you're ready to subtract before. I do it one number at a time and put my difference down here as I go. This method is just scanning all the numbers in the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and seeing and comparing it and seeing if I'm ready to subtract. So I'm going to start. Can't do that, so I'm going to have to go ahead and do this. Or maybe this will make it easier too. That becomes 1. Cross that out, and that becomes 11. I can't do 3 minus 8, so I'm going to have to come over here, and that becomes 3. Cross that out, it becomes 13. Can't do that. 5. That becomes 13. So what I did is I went through and I checked every number. Let me go back into it a little slower. I'm going to start in the 1 spot. I see that I cannot subtract 8. Go next door, turn. I'm going to go ahead and turn all the numbers, get them ready to subtract. I'm not going to do the actual subtraction yet. I'm just going to go through and check it. Alright, so 11 minus 8 I can do. I can do 1 minus 1. I can't do 3 minus 8, so I have to come over to the thousands, turn that into a 3, cross that out and turn it into 13. Okay, I'm going to go over to the thousands number. I can't do 3 minus 7, so I have to come over here, turn that 6 into a 5, turn that into 13. I can do that, and I can do that. Then you subtract. 11 minus 8 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 13 minus 8 is 5, comma. 13 minus 7 is 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. 46,503. There's nothing to it, guys. What you need to be aware of, no matter how you choose to subtract, is you need to be aware that you are not shifting the numbers to fit your needs. Okay? You are not flip-flopping. You're not looking at 1 minus 8 and going, oh, that's 7, because 8 minus 1 is 7. That's the only way I know how to do it. No, 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 no. You're not going to get the correct difference. You need to regroup. You need to regroup and rebundle. Shift tens around to the next place value to the right in order to make sure that you can subtract. Okay? Like I said, you have to regroup, you have to rebundle. Either one of those strategies I just went over, thumbs up, soldier. You use whatever one you want. Or, you know what, if you know some different, better way, and it gets you a correct difference, please use it. That's cool. But I'll probably ask you to show me how. I'm like, how did you do that? If it's some magical way I've never seen before. Okay? So we're just going to work through a few different problems here in an effort to continue subtraction practice. But we're going to look at some big old numbers. So I'm going to start with 728,433 minus 599,248. These are the big numbers we're going to be working with, guys. We are going to be able to do this kind of subtraction, no problem. And a lot of you can. I've seen it in small group, but we are pounding it into your head so that when the time comes, you don't have to stop and go. You just automatically will look and know what to do. So let's work through this one together. 3 minus 8 I can't do. You know what? Let's make sure I can subtract. Let's check every number. Let's do the second method I showed you. I can't do 3 minus 8, so I'm going to have to turn this 3 into a 2. Cross that out, that becomes 13. I can't do 2 minus 4, so I have to cross out that 4. That becomes a 12. I cannot do 8 minus 9, so 2 becomes a 1. That becomes 18. I cannot do 1 minus 9, so I need to come over here. Turn 7 into 6. Now 1 into an 11. Now I can do 13 minus 8. I can do 12 minus 4. I can do 3 minus 2. I can do 18 minus 9. I can do 11 minus 9. And I can do 6 minus 5. I have bigger numbers on top. That makes my life a whole heck of a lot easier, right? Okay, well, let's subtract this. 13 minus 8 is 5. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. 18 minus 9 is 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. Oops, if I could. And 9 on the brain there. 2, and 6 minus 5 is 1. 129,185. Cool. I like that. Now, my next question is going to be, how do I know if I'm right? That's one of the beauties of subtraction, is you can always check your answer. And we talked about this, but I'm going to keep doing it. So we're going to do, what was it, 599,248. Now, the smallest number is always what you're going to add to your difference. And remember, the difference is an answer to a subtraction problem. 599,248, 129,185. 129,185. Now remember, guys, all you have to do is add to see if you get the bigger number that you were subtracting from. If those two numbers match up, 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 9 plus 9 is 18. 10, 12, 6, 7. 728,433. Is that what my 728,433? Add them together. Perfect. You can always check your subtraction work. Let's do another one. I'm going to do 469,327 minus 139,418. 418, not 418. Now I want to touch on tape diagrams, doing something like this. We've done it a couple times, but the big takeaway here, or the big thing I want you to remember, is when you have to do a tape diagram, which you'll be asked to do, the big thing you need to remember is what's the part and what's the whole. And if you remember in previous lessons, the tape diagram will look like this. It's going to be a little rectangle, kind of parceled out, right? And it has this little thing that indicates what the hole is, and you have the pieces down here and a variable, right? So the whole is always going to be the larger number, the number up top. That's always going to be the whole. Because when you're subtracting, you're taking away from the whole. If I had the whole class here, and I had 48 Snickers bars in a bag, the whole bag would be 48, and there'd be 21, because that's how many kids are in my class. It'd be 21 kids, so it'd be 48 of the whole of the bag minus the 21 kids, and what I had left over would be the missing part. Same thing here. Just to substitute 327,000 Snicker bars, and I had that many students. Okay, so the whole is always the bigger number. You're taking away from the whole. So it's 469,327. And then you have the piece here. One piece of the whole. And that is this number here. 139,418. That's easy. You write it down here. You're going to be asked to do a tape diagram, so I hope you're paying attention. 139,418. And then our missing part. Oh, you can't see that very well. It's the way the camera's angled. Then our missing part. That's our variable. That's the letter we use. Remember? It can be, in theory, it can be any letter you want to use. Most times, a variable is A, B, or C, or M or N, X, Y, Z. It's not often you get into every letter of the alphabet, but when we do geometry, we might get like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that sort of thing. But most often you just choose A, B, or C, X, Y, Z. I'm going to choose A because it's simple and I just want to go to A. Okay, that's our variable, A. Now we just do the subtraction. Let's go through and check if, I'm going to go through and I'm going to use the method where I'll make sure I'm ready to subtract. Maybe push this back a little so you guys can see it all. There we go. I can't do 7 minus 8, so I got to come over here. I have to come over here, turn that into 1, turn that into 17. I can do 1 minus 1. I cannot do 3 minus 4, so I need to come over here to the 9 in the thousand spot, turn that into an 8, turn this into a 13. I cannot do 8 minus 9, so I need to borrow from the 6, turn it into a 5. That 8 in the thousands becomes 18. I can do 5 minus 3, and I can do 4 minus 1. Well, let's do it. 17 minus 8 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. 13 minus 4 is 9. Comma, 18 minus 9 is 9. 5 minus 3 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. A equals 329,909. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. You just have to make sure you're not trying to subtract smaller numbers from bigger numbers, flip-flopping to make ends meet, so to speak. If I have 7 and 8, I'm not flip-flopping to say 8 minus 7 is 1. You have to go borrow and regroup. We're going to look at one more example, and then this lesson is over for you. And we're going to get crazy with it. I'm going to do 1 million minus, I don't know, 739,223. Well, if I'm going to do a quick tape, our whole is going to be what? 1 million, right? Then the one piece is going to be 739,223, and I'm going to use the letter B for my variable. Okay. Mr. Ryans, that's an awful lot of zeros! You're darn tootin' it is. Look at it. What do? We can't do 0 minus 3. Okay. I can't come over here and borrow anything to make that. I can't come over here and borrow anything to make that. I can't come over here. The only place I can regroup from is this 1 over here. So I'm going to use a different color pen. I'm going to go, okay, that 1 becomes a 0. That's going to become 10. Okay, so now I just have to start a what I'm going to call a borrowing train. 9, that become 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10. Okay, we carried that 10 all the way from there to here. Now, we're just going to start subtracting. Well, can I do subtracting? I can do 10 minus 3, I can do 9 minus 2, I can do 9 minus 2, I can do 9 minus 9, I can do 9 minus 3, and I can do 9 minus 7. I can do it. Let's do it. 10 minus 3 is 7, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 9 is 0, 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 7 is 2. 260,777. That's all you gotta do, guys. Check it. Try it out. Submit your work, please. Royans. Oh.